The following are quotes 361 to 400 from the Book of Wise Sayings, selected largely from Eastern sources, which was published in 1893. It was edited by William Alexander Clouston. Enjoy. Vociferation and calmness of character seldom meet in the same person. Wit and wisdom differ. Wit is upon the sudden turn, wisdom is in bringing about ends. Real and solid happiness springs from moderation. In all the world there is no vice less prone to excess than avarice. It neither cares for food nor clothing. Nature's content with little, that with nothing. Beside the streamlet seated, mark how life glides on. That sign, how swift each moment goes, to me's enough. Behold this world's delights, and view its various pains. If not to you, the joy it shows to me's enough. The lake no longer water holds. Off fly the fowls, the lilies stay. If friends are friends when wealth is gone, the lilies' constancy they share. Let us be well persuaded that every one of us possesses happiness in proportion to his virtue and wisdom, and according as he acts in obedience to their suggestion. All property which comes to hand by means of violence or infamy or baseness, however large it may be, is tainted and unblessed. On the other hand, whatever is obtained by honest profit, small though it be, brings a blessing with it. We should know mankind better if we were not so anxious to resemble one another. Root out the love of self, as you might the autumn lotus with your hand. Whoever has the seed of virtue and honor implanted in his breast will drop a sympathizing tear on the woes of his neighbor. Do naught to others which, if done to thee, would cause thee pain. This is the sum of duty. A bad man, though raised to honor, always returns to his natural course, as a dog's tail, though warmed by the fire and rubbed with oil, retains its form. The man who cannot blush and who has no feelings of fear has reached the acme of impudence. It is the usual consolation of the envious, if they cannot maintain their superiority, to represent those by whom they are surpassed as inferior to someone else. Such is the chain of causes we call fate, such is the chain of wishes. One links on to another. The whole man is bound in the chain of wishing forever. I do remember stopping by the way, to watch a potter thumping his wet clay, and with its all-obliterated tongue it murmured, "Gently, brother, gently pray." If you only knew the evils which others suffer, you would willingly submit to those which you now bear. Children form a bond of union than which the human heart finds none more enduring. The sweetest pleasure soonest cloy, and its best flavor temperance gives to joy. To our own sorrows serious heed we give, but for another's we soon cease to grieve. Can anything be more absurd than that the nearer we are to our journey's end, we should lay in the more provision for it? Set about whatever you intend to do. The beginning is half the battle. All smatterers are more brisk and pert than those who understand an art, as little sparkles shine more bright than glowing coals that gave them light. No prince, how great soever, begets his predecessors, and the noblest rivers are not navigable to the fountain. The guilty man may escape, but he cannot be sure of doing so. In everything you will find annoyances, but you ought to consider whether the advantages do not predominate. Dreams in general take their rise from those incidents which have most occupied the thoughts during the day. Sleeping, we image what awake we wish. Dogs dream of bones and fishermen of fish. A man who does not endeavor to seem more than he is will generally be thought nothing of. We habitually make such large deductions for pretense and imposture that no real merit will stand against them. It is necessary to set off our good qualities with a certain air of plausibility and self-importance, as some attention to fashion is necessary. There is nothing more beautiful than cheerfulness in an old face, and among country people it is always a sign of a well-regulated life. From things which have been obtained after having been long desired, men almost never derive the pleasure and delight which they had anticipated. Seest thou good days? Prepare for evil times. No summer but hath its winter. He never reaped comfort in adversity that sowed not in prosperity. Every man knows his own but not others' defects and miseries, and 'tis the nature of all men still to reflect upon themselves their own misfortunes, not to examine or consider other men's, not to confer themselves with others, to recount their own miseries, but not their good gifts, fortunes, benefits which they have, to ruminate on their adversity, but not once to think on their prosperity, not what they have but what they want. Some people, you would think, are made up of nothing but title and genealogy. The stamp of dignity defaces in them the very character of humanity and transports them to such a degree of haughtiness that they reckon it below them to exercise good nature or good manners. He alone is poor who does not possess knowledge. It is not enough to know, we must apply what we know. It is not enough to will, we must also act. Words of blame from those who are hostile to a great man cannot injure him. The moon is not hurt when barked at by a dog. The value of three things is justly appreciated by all classes of men: youth by the old, health by the diseased, and wealth by the needy. As one might nurse a tiny flame, the able and far-seeing man, e'en with the smallest capital, can raise himself to wealth.